My name is, excuse me, Mia Hawkins, and I am interviewing Miss Ethel Spencer on September 6, 2013 in Washington, D.C. This interview is part of the D.C. Gardeners Oral History Project sponsored by the Neighborhood Farm Initiative and the D.C. Humanities Council. Miss Ethel, thank you today for talking with us. And can you start by sharing your name and your address?
My name is Ethel Spencer, and I live at 203 Douglas Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Miss Ethel. Well, the first questions, or the first couple of questions we're just going to cover right now, it's just basic life questions. So I'm just going to ask you, something about your early life and childhood. Who was in your family? Did you grow up in the city? Well, let me start by asking you, where did you grow up?
I'm a Jamaican,
Okay.
and the parish that I was born is Trelawney. But I was grown in Kingston, in the city, the capital.
Oh, wow.
And then I migrated to the U.S. in 1970,
Wow.
February 1970.
Wow.
And I was in Bethesda, a little town just over from Friendship Heights, called Somerset.
Okay.
So I spent a year and some months there. That's where my sponsor was.
Oh, wow.
So after that I moved to Nicholson Street Northeast in Riggs Park.
Okay.
I roomed there with a Jamaican lady.
Nice.
And then I came to this address, 203.
Oh, wow. So you've been here
So I'm
for a while.
here from 1973, January,
Wow. So you've been at this address
for
for
40 years.
beautiful.
January, 40 years. So I was renting until 7 years later I became the proud owner.
Beautiful.
So that was a big accomplishment for me.
Oh, of
It may not
course.
look, or sound like much, but
It's definitely, I'm sure it is, for someone to own their own, especially somewhere where they're not from,
and then for all these years I've been doing domestic work, babysitting, housework, the whole bit. And then because of illness I retired in 90, no, it's exactly 17 years ago since I've retired.
Wow.
So then I do babysitting here and there, and I do planting,
Oh, nice.
knitting and crocheting. That's my favorite pastime.
Beautiful.
But the garden keeps me alive.
I'm sure. Good, and a lot of peace. Okay, so when you were in Jamaica, and you said Kingston, how was did you learn to garden there?
Well,
Did your parents garden, or maybe some part of your family, or was there a big open market where you can get fresh food?
but yes, you go to the market and get fresh provision. And you have people that's by the wayside, or people would come around and sell things. But as a child, I would plant in a pot.
So nice.
I love planting. I would plant tomato and pepper
Wow.
and cucumber in a pot.
Any special
And then
kind?
it's a tenement setting,
Okay.
so you don't have all that space.
Yeah.
So, but I always love planting.
Wow.
So that's how I started.
Any special, well, I guess any heirloom or special tomatoes or peppers, or you just, whatever seeds you can kind of come by, you would plant.
Right, because in that time, as simple as it sounds, you couldn't afford to buy a pack of seeds. You have to, and you wouldn't find it everywhere. You have to go to the agricultural place to buy these seeds.
Wow.
So how we would come by the seed is you buy a tomato, you would pulp the seeds and put it out to dry.
Wow.
Then you plant it. You do the same thing with the peppers. And with okra, you get a dry one and you plant the seed.
That is interesting. Wow. Very interesting. And out of all, I mean, I've talked to plenty of people, but it's really interesting to know, yeah, that you really couldn't afford seeds.
Right.
You know, so
a
you
pack
would,
of seed, then it, well, now it's you would say $1 or a couple dollars, but then it was a big deal.
yeah. How much, do you remember how much seeds were?
No, I don't remember, but I do know you had people who do agriculture had to go to a special place, the
Okay.
agricultural place,
Wow.
to purchase certain things to plant.
Wow.
So if you just have a little pot, you're not going to take your money and go buy a pack of seeds when you can just
Squeeze it.
dry it. The pumpkin the same. You would take out after they take out the middle. Of course, we eat pumpkin. Not, don't use it like how you use it here. And I used to eat the seeds. I never know that it had some food value. Just as a child, it was a hobby. Anytime my mother buy the pumpkin, because we cook soup every Saturday, it's a ritual.
Oh, wow.
It's beef soup. So your pumpkin is in it, and you scrape out the middle, and I would do the seeds, dry it, and pick it, and eat the kernel. And when I came here and see it in a pack, I know much dollars for it. I said, huh? And I've been eating this thing, and my mother believed I was nuts.
Oh, and then you came here and you found out
Right.
we eat pumpkin seeds.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Oh, good.
Yes, so that's how we would come by the seeds.
Wow. Very nice. So I'm guessing when you were growing up and you had your pot, you probably didn't have many pots, but you know,
No,
just
you know what the pot was? Not pot like this, you know. You have a pot that you cook in, and it has holes.
Oh, wow.
And instead of throwing it away, you just did. And it wasn't any, because I can't remember, not even now, probably now, because everything will get so Americanized. You dig the dirt from outside and fill the pot. And to help the dirt along is the manure from the cattle.
Wow.
Because when the mule cart comes around to sell coal that you would cook with, then they go to the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
and you as a child would go with a pan
Uh-huh.
and retrieve it and dry it and
Wow.
pound it up. Then that now you mix in with the soil.
And you did it all by hand. I mean, like,
Right. You don't have any.
right, tools and machines.
Right.
Beautiful. That is so interesting. Wow.
That those my son would say, "Ma, those are the good old days."
And everything was simple.
And then now you see you don't have all that chemical because you just put some manure in the soil, the dirt that you dig up wherever.
That is interesting.
Now you go to the shop and you buy a bag of soil, whatever one you want, and thing, and all different things inside of it,
Yeah.
chemicals and things to make the thing grow.
Wow. It's funny, I learned something new,
Every day.
Exactly. I had no
Because
idea.
each little spot in the world do something different.
Wow. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna go from Jamaica and then we're gonna move here. Okay, so when you got here in 1970, let's say once you got here to 203 Douglas.
I started planting from Bethesda
Oh wow, so let's start
with the
at-
white folks. My boss, she was what you call her now? She was an allergist. She was a doctor. So they eat certain things, and she research and things. So they had a garden going.
Oh wow.
There wasn't space at the house, but about 3 blocks from the house, there was someone that they knew that had a big space. And we had a garden there. So we used to do like spring crops, snow peas and beans and cucumber and tomato and things. So
Wow.
I started there.
And
And then it was a hobby of mine, so it wasn't, say, like a chore, some work. It's something I enjoyed doing.
yeah.
So I joined with him and we gardened together.
Nice.
And then when I came here, I started right here because it was 2 different family occupied the house. And I started right here with tomatoes and cucumber and pepper
Wow.
until I migrate to the back and spread out some more.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was tomatoes, I guess, when you were helping out with the doctor.
Tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, peas.
And I'm sure you shared all of it.
Well, some of the things I didn't eat because up to now I don't eat the snow bean thing because I can't get onto the fact to know that you eat the old thing, the pad, and
And right, the bean and the pie.
right. I can't, and I don't like garden egg. We call it garden egg. You say eggplant.
Oh wow. Okay.
We say garden egg.
Garden egg. Oh.
It's grown in the garden and it's an egg. So
I
you
like
say
that.
eggplant.
Garden egg.
It's funny how, the English language is so...
Wow. I'm gonna start using that, bringing it back. Oh, the garden egg.
Right.
Oh wow. Beautiful. Well, here's an interesting question. I guess even in Bethesda, do you remember anything significant about that garden or that community? What was it like? I guess in Bethesda back then.
Well,
I'm sure different.
it wasn't, personally, I felt out of place because I picture myself back then at the window, just looking for somebody looking like me.
Yeah.
Not even the mailman. If you do see somebody like me, is a day worker. And I think I was the only black maid on the block.
Oh wow.
But I didn't encounter any animosity
Good.
or anything like that. Everybody was, casual. Because there was a swimming pool there, and my boss signed me up to take swimming lessons. And I could remember I tell the children that I blocked up the pool. I could because it's two black black skin. It was some Indians and they were diplomats
Oh, beautiful.
renting, and then me. And my instructor was a white woman. Oh,
Wow.
it was lonely because the first time leaving my home and leaving my children
Yeah.
and things. But the family I was with, they were pretty decent.
Good.
They make you feel at home, do everything to make you feel comfortable.
Wow.
So the experience was fine.
Wow. Good. So I know you did not go to school here because it was a little bit later. But when you went to school in Kingston, I mean, did you guys learn any growing there? Was it, not so much classroom, but more hands-on with science? Did you grow any food or?
No, we didn't, but of course you have science class and things like that. But no, not say go out and do gardening per se. Just the what you would call it now, the experiments that you would do with plants to see how they feed. You put a blotting paper and colored water, and then you see how the plants is being fed. But outside of that, no.
Wow. Okay, so basically all of your young experience with gardening was just around the house and what you did in the yard.
Well, when I was little, 7 on and under, I was in the country with my grandmother, and then there is more space. So we had a home garden, a spot where we planted cassava, cocoa, and a few cane.
Oh wow.
And callaloo. Callaloo is a type of spinach, but it's a little different than your spinach. It's harder than your spinach, and things like that.
Wow. Have you tried to grow any of that here? I know it's a
Well,
little
some
the weather's-
things can.
Right.
The callaloo, yes. I would grow it here round the back, as some it does. It and the apple seem to mesh
Oh, nice.
because what happened? It seeds itself
Mhm.
after it reaches. Have you ever had it?
No.
After callaloo and codfish. Have you ever had codfish? No.
Yes,
You
I've
had,
had codfish before.
but not the combination.
No.
You know what the codfish I'm speaking of? The salt. It's salt.
It's salt?
Salty.
No.
Oh,
So then maybe no, not that codfish.
it's oh, it's cured and
Okay.
it's real salty.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's a fish to catch from the sea and they do it in that form. But you get it at the Spanish store, Jamaican store, international store.
Yeah.
But it's good. But you have to soak it to get rid of most of the salt. You don't want to get rid of all because then it don't,
Taste.
the flavor is gone. So we would combine both and make a nice dish, a breakfast dish or a dinner.
That sounds delicious.
Codfish and color.
Codfish and collard. You might have to make some for me. Very nice.
Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Chicago.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Yeah. So another big city, you know, but plants still around.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm now going to ask you about some memories of food, and this kind of just goes right along with what we were talking about. You said, so you grew cocoa. What was the first thing you said?
Cassava.
What is cassava?
Cassava is a root. Something like carrot,
Okay,
but it's harder than carrot.
okay.
Or yam. Well, it grows like yam,
Okay.
and then you got to pull up the old plant, and you use the roots.
Oh, wow.
And they come in big, long things like that. And you can boil it, or you grate it, and you get starch
Okay. Wow.
for your clothes from the water, the juice from it. And you ever heard of bami?
No.
Bami is made from cassava, and you use bami for breakfast, like you would do pancake.
Wow. Mmm.
So you can get the ready-made bami
Uh-huh.
to buy at the stores and things. But you can get the cassava too, the raw cassava, and then you can fix it how you want, or you cook it. When you cook it, it come in like a potato or yam,
Okay.
but different texture.
Okay. How is the flavor?
The flavor is good.
Is it sweet?
It's
not
it's starch,
Okay.
heavy in starch.
Okay.
Is a lot of starch.
Wow. So do you grow cassava? Okay. Wow. We're gonna have to go take a look.
No, not here.
Oh, you don't grow it
No,
here?
it wouldn't
Okay.
it wouldn't come here.
Okay.
It wouldn't come here
Hmm.
because of the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
The
sure.
same thing like the cocoa. You have a plant here. You see the elephant ears?
Yes.
That's how the cocoa tree would look, similar. But the root, you have to dig up the whole plant and get the root. That's where the cocoa is.
Wow.
So it wouldn't come here because some of these things would take 9 months or something like that
To grow.
to come to perfection.
Yeah.
So the weather would,
Yeah. But it's a little too cool over here.
right, the frost,
Yeah.
the frost.
Oh, good. So who did the cooking of all of this nice, glorious food?
Well, my parents would cook, and then you learn from them.
So I guess what, in the kitchen with mom and grandma.
Right,
Wow.
because as a rule, part of your chores is to help out in the kitchen and see what is being done. So here my daughter does the cooking,
Aw,
the eldest one.
nice.
They all can cook. Some better than some. It's 4 of them, 2 boys, 2 girls.
Beautiful. Oh, sounds like a wonderful life, like beautiful memories.
Well,
Beautiful memories. Good. So where did you buy your food? The food that you didn't grow, I guess.
you go to the market.
Okay.
You go to the market. You have to, well, before supermarket, you go to the market, and people come from the countryside with their provision. They come in from Friday right through to Sunday with fresh stuff, fruits, vegetables, and food. So you would go to the market and buy. Now you can go to the supermarket and you get a little of everything. But the market is still there. The
Oh,
open
nice.
market where you go, people with their provision in the basket and you buy under that the price. When I was a child, banana come in have you ever seen a banana on a tree?
Yes.
Right, it's a bunch. And then you have like what's his name there? Sidney Poitier. Sing Deo banana. And it sing 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. So is the bunch. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 hands.
Wow.
And each hand can have a dozen fingers.
Wow.
So that is the hand. That's how the hand come.
I had no idea.
It's like this.
Uh-huh.
So that's the one hand, and this is 5 fingers of banana. So that's one hand. So how they would sell it, you count the fingers. You want a dozen banana, you want 12 banana, or you want half a dozen or a quarter dozen.
Wow.
Now they're weighing it. So much per pound.
Yes.
Now then you would get so much per hand.
Wow.
A 6 hand, you'll get, say, a shilling. Now it's a shilling a pound.
So how much?
Shilling is the British before we come to dollars.
So I guess, so how much would you pay for a half a dozen bananas?
Now in the money there now, I understand you can't even see the banana. It's scarce.
Oh, wow.
So probably you'd pay like $100 a pound. $100 now in this money. The money has devaluated so much. $1 is 90 something $8.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
how
Wow.
bad it has been.
Interesting.
Mm.
So you could only get food, I guess, from Friday to Sunday?
No, you get it all every day
Okay.
because you have these what we call them igloos that sits on the corner store
Mm-hmm.
with their provision.
Okay.
Or you used to have people come around with a cart
Uh-huh.
and they have everything there and you can buy. And then it served the purpose then, even now for people who don't have that amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we do, we're buying small portion.
Okay.
You go to the market, you get things to serve for Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So there comes Monday now, you go to the corner store
Okay.
and pick up whatever you need.
Okay.
The same thing with grocery.
Mm-hmm.
You buy a certain amount to serve you for a day or
Mm-hmm.
two because you don't have refrigeration then. And but now everybody is so Americanized.
Wow. So how did you guys refrigerate things or keep them cool?
You buy ice, the block,
Yeah.
you know, the block of ice.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I would put together and buy one block
Mm-hmm.
or buy half a block.
Mm-hmm.
And you would do that like Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sunday is a big family day, you know, everybody's home.
Mm-hmm.
So big provision is made. And you make drinks.
Okay.
And you make jello.
Oh wow.
So you have to set it. You have the ice. So you have an ice box
Wow.
or a big old wash pan
Mm-hmm.
and you put it in it with sawdust.
Wow.
And that keeps the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And that keep you good for the day.
Wow.
And then in the week now, because it's so hot, you have people who sell ice.
Uh-huh.
So you can go and buy a small portion just to cool whatever.
So what would you do after Sunday? I mean, to keep food.
Well, you wouldn't do too much. Whatever is this family size, then you'd cook to suffice that or somebody drop in. And then you would eat whatever you call it here, leftovers. That term, when I hear that term here, I say still food. Because that is what we call it,
Exactly.
still food. The food from yesterday.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So you would eat that, you would consume that the next day, that it don't spoil.
Wow. That is a very good way. It's almost like just using what you need for right then.
Right.
And,
But
not
it
using
cut down on waste, you know.
Yeah.
When I come here and see what is thrown, it was a culture shock for me when I really see how things are done here. But they're like that, that's still food, leftover.
Wow. Good. Okay. So now I'm gonna ask you, what did you learn? I guess from growing your food. Were there special ways or little different techniques that you would use? Would you? I know you didn't use any chemicals, or what special things that probably were different when you got here and saw some other, techniques going on.
The things that the ready-made things that you could buy to help you along.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from manure. You know, manure is very expensive here.
Mm-hmm.
The real manure. So that was different. And you have all these sprays
Yeah.
and things that you never have. If worm is on the tomato, because the tomato tree generally
Mm-hmm.
harbors caterpillars and stuff like that. You know what we would put on it?
What?
Ashes.
Wow.
And you get the ash from, because we use coal fire,
Uh-huh.
coal to cook.
Uh-huh.
So after the coal is burned, that ash, just like what you get from the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
So we would store that and would sprinkle that
Wow.
and it kills the worms.
Would you sprinkle it on the plant, the leaves, or
You could
the
sprinkle it
bottom?
on the leaves, but you have to be careful because it can burn
Mm-hmm.
the plant.
Mm-hmm.
But you would put it around the root and thing.
That's a nice
And it
tip.
cleans up.
Wow. Did you use anything else, I guess, for like little pests
No,
and stuff, or that you can remember?
no, ash was the main thing
Okay.
that we'd use to keep our worms because the color too would get worms.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gentle, powder it.
Mm-hmm.
They have powders here too
Uh-huh.
that you can shake and thing. But the hashes, that's the main
Wow.
thing.
Do you still use ashes?
No, because one thing, I don't have a fireplace,
All
and
right.
then you don't.
Mhm. So what do you use now, I guess, for the pest or, you know?
They have floral dust and they have
Okay.
vegetable dust.
Okay.
Um, that's the name of the firm, author, one of those. That's pretty good,
Wow.
but you have to read the label
Mm-hmm.
to see.
Beautiful. So you said your first garden was in Bethesda,
Mm-hmm.
and then now you have this beautiful. There are pots everywhere, and I haven't seen the back, but I'm sure you have beautiful things back there in your tree, your apple tree in the back.
Well, the back half of the back is concrete,
Uh-huh.
for the
Walkway.
right, for you can park. But I have a nice plant, floral plant there that it started here, and I had it around the tree there,
Mm-hmm.
but it can grow so big, but it's beautiful in the night.
Oh, nice.
Trumpet,
Uh-huh.
white.
Yes.
And in the night when you look out in the dark, it's like a bulb turn on.
Aww.
It's beautiful. So I put it around the back because it has more space to do its thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, very nice. So in all of this gardening that you've done over all these years, do you remember making any mistakes? Something that you did and it just totally ruined the plant, or you came out, oh my God, it's gone, or something that you had to fix.
Well, as you said, oh my God, they used to come and take the plant from off the porch.
Uh-huh.
I had a big plant. The thing was practically as tall as I am. And it's not so much the plant, but it's the origin of the plant.
Uh-huh.
I had this neighbor when I was in Bethesda,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to babysit his dog. And he had this plant, and he said, Ethel, I'm going to make you a plant from it. And he did, the elderly white couple. And it took me a while to go and get it. I got it and brought it here, and it grew so nice.
Oh, nice.
And one morning I come, open the window, pull back the curtain, and I see, a vacant lot of space. The whole thing was gone, cut and everything.
Oh, wow.
I say, if you had cut me, you wouldn't find a drop of blood. I was so disappointed and so hurt. And to know that he went through all that trouble to take the slip, planted it, rooted, and it grew so big. It's gone.
Wow. So did somebody just picked it up and took it?
Just take it. They go and sell it.
Oh, wow.
Because you see, it's quick money for drugs and whatever.
Yeah.
And just up there by the apartment over on 4th, up there on the hill, it was a drug market. So I lost 2 plants like that. But
nothing by your hand. Nothing.
no, not really. I can't
You say you don't mess those
remember
up.
that I would experiment, and as I go along, you do things and you see what work and what don't, and all of them have the different likes and dislikes. So you learn as the day go by what this one like and right.
It's funny because and we're looking at a Dieffenbachia right now for the listeners. But I have one that I gave away, but I noticed that this one, it's very mine was very touchy. Did not like to be touched or handled at all. So little shoots would pop up, but if you touch those shoots, it would just totally stop growing and it would turn brown. And another one would pop up, but it did not like to be touched at all.
Well, there is something of that nature. What's the name of it? There is the pianist. If you move it to a new location, it doesn't bloom that year. It takes another year or 2 before it blooms. They don't like, moving. They like to stay in one spot.
Oh, so good. You just kind of tried a bit of everything.
Right. And I have, hibiscus.
Yes.
See, all these are
beautiful.
The garden.
Oh, those are gorgeous. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Very sweet.
He thinks that he's somebody.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Right. It was there for 2 years and then it decided to leave. This one was by the wall where that white is that you were admiring and it draped over. And I said, look at that, it looks like a bridal bouquet.
Yeah. Oh, that's gorgeous. Dahlias.
Oh, that was me.
Aww.
when I got my birth certificate. Or when I became a citizen.
Beautiful.
Oh, these are the
Oh,
peppers.
look at all of that nice produce. And it looks so good.
And this is a cucumber. It was about
Wow.
the length of my arm.
Now, you know what? Let me ask, because I find that, just we grow a lot of food, but did you have any other uses for, like, say, I know and I learned from another gardener, it grows like a cucumber, but if you let it just continue to grow, the fibers in it will continue to get hard, and then you can dry it, and then you have a loofah sponge.
That's I forgot the name. We call it straw. Something another straw. It's they use it as a washcloth. Well, you get it in the stores too. And you got to pay a arm and a leg for it. But
sure.
it grows wild.
Wow. Did you use anything like that,
I didn't use it for me
Uh-huh.
because it's too rough. At school, we use it to make purses.
Wow.
Because you would cut it and you would take out the inside of it and the outer part. You'd use it as a pocketbook.
Beautiful. I see all kinds of uses for stuff, we grow. We can eat it, admire it, wear it. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so...
Another set of peppers.
Oh, and those look
And
so
they all
good.
grow in the pot.
This is such beautiful produce. We're looking at pictures. And it looks like very healthy, good food.
And the taste is different
I'm sure.
from the one in the store.
What do you use as fertilizer? Do you use anything special?
I would use Miracle Grow.
Okay.
But sometimes, because this year I didn't even spray them with anything.
Good.
The Forsythia, not the Forsythia. This is the Spring Bloom. They have a food for azalea.
Okay.
That's azalea and this.
Okay.
They have food for it, so I would, make the solution and water it.
Okay.
But it didn't even get anything this year. But it's doing good.
Good. Oh. So when you got here, I guess, what foods, once you got here and got settled, oh wow. What foods did you associate with, I guess, being here, DC? So, because I know once you got here and got established, there were some new things and some different things, that you saw. Aww.
I'm very finicky, like where food is concerned. I don't eat everything, and sometimes I haven't even tried it, but just looking at it, it's not very appealing to me. So, see the hibiscus.
Oh gosh, they're so big.
So I don't try it.
Okay.
But like pizza, I've never had a pizza until I come here. And it took me a good while. Because after the children came and joined me. And then I said, well, as kids would buy this, and then I tried it. And pancakes.
Wow.
Because we have different breakfast things. We make dumpling and fritters. And So
Wow, it sounded like it was you had to get used to a lot. These apples look so yummy. Those are the biggest hibiscus I've ever
I
seen.
just cut the tree day before yesterday, cut it back. But what comes spring, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
That's my granddad.
It's amazing. Just, all of and it grows so well.
This white one here, it's so white. When you see it.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
That's a granddaughter.
Oh, very pretty.
That's her. She's 17 now.
Oh, wow. Oh, those are my favorite.
The stargazer.
Yes.
And the perfume.
Aren't they? They smell so lovely. Do you have any more?
I had, this is, a pot was there. It was so, this is what I took here. But it come down to that.
Okay. Well,
And then I replanted this and a couple bulbs down there. Hopefully it will come next.
Oh, so they've had they bloom. Oh, that is gorgeous.
Oh, this is some daisies.
Daisies and roses. It's funny that that plant that I just saw, and it has like the little purple flowers on it. And we used to, we had them growing. This is a little story of mine, but we had them growing on like the side of our home when I was little, and we would pop them. Like, when you go and they haven't bloomed yet, but it'll be like a little bubble, and we would go and pop them, and they'll make this little pop sound. And we used to just ruin them, but we thought it was so fun.
This is clematis.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, gorgeous.
This is this right here.
And that's
When
a passion
spring-
flower.
No, it's clematis.
Oh, that's the clematis too? Okay, there was
That's
a close-up.
what-
Okay.
They're so gorgeous when they bloom in spring.
Those are beautiful.
Those on that side.
Oh, I'm sad I missed it. I missed the show. It's still beautiful here, though. Oh, those are gorgeous azaleas.
Yes, so each season I have.
Oh, you do very well.
This is the candy stripe.
Oh, that's
That's
beautiful.
the white one. Yes.
Gorgeous.
This is Bamba at the cherry blossom. My grandson and
Beautiful. Oh, very nice. Do you remember any restaurants? I guess like in Jamaica that, maybe in childhood that you used, you can remember. Not restaurants. Okay.
but I never indulge in eating out,
Yeah.
and we eat at home.
Kind of a family moment.
Right.
How
And
did,
here, the same thing. I have
the same way of
the
living.
same practice.
Yeah. How did anybody, tell you, how beautiful your garden was? How did other
Oh,
people
different
view?
people pass by and said, up to yesterday, a white couple passed because the neighborhood is changing and say, oh, your yard is so gorgeous. I said, thank you. Sometimes they're driving by and they just
Yeah.
stop to say, oh, such and such a thing is so beautiful.
Nice. It is. It's very lovely out here.
And the good thing about it, as I said, I'm here 40 years. And nobody really taking the pride in, and now it's changing.
Yeah.
You walk down and you can see, they're fixing up. Oh, not my neighbor here. You know that he's a good gardener. He concretes the thing.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe he's
But
making room for a pot.
but he plants in the pot
Yeah.
and get peppers and
I see. The
tomatoes.
tomatoes are coming up.
And he got lots of tomatoes off that one tree, good size one, and
Wow.
peppers.
Good. So, Miss
Yeah.
Ethel, what are your favorite things to grow other than the flowers? I guess as far as, do you grow? I know you still grow tomatoes, but what are your favorites?
I don't have any real favorite. I love them all
Oh,
as long as they're healthy.
yeah. Really nice.
That one, I snuck it in. You see that little one down there to the end?
Uh-huh.
Wrapped it in
Some paper towel.
and put it in my suitcase. It came from Jamaica.
It did? The snake plant?
That was 6 years ago. And look at it.
It's beautiful. It is
I
beautiful.
know it's just going by the wayside.
Mhm.
It was a business place. That wasn't a business anymore. It's closed. And they had this poor thing on the side, trying because they're hard to die,
Yeah.
They're hard, the plants. And I said, look at that. I must see if I can see a baby.
Mhm.
And there was the baby like that. And I just scratched and wrapped it. I put it in some water, and when I was ready to come back, I wrapped it in some paper, tissue paper, and put it in with my suitcase. And there it is.
Beautiful.
6 years.
And it's
And
gorgeous.
I transplanted it because it was in a pot like that. And then I said, well, let me put it in this pot and give it some more room.
Yeah.
And said, those light ones, those are new growth.
Beautiful. It is really growing.
Well, it's very happy. It's very happy. But I don't have any real favorite. They're all gorgeous to me.
Okay, and this is probably going to be our last question, but do you have any special preparations or recipes that you use with anything that you grow? I mean, any good dishes or
Oh,
dishes from home that you may use to cook, your tomatoes. You may cook an old home recipe or peppers or callaloo.
no, not really. With the hot peppers, I would put them in vinegar
Okay.
You wash them, take out the stem, and pierce it with a fork or a knife, and put them in a bottle. Not a plastic bottle, a jar.
Okay.
And pour vinegar on it. I use the white vinegar. And put it in the fridge. And all year round you have pepper to use. If you're somebody who like pepper.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, no, the callaloo would cut it and freeze it.
Okay.
Because during the winter you can't even find it in the store. So you would cut it and freeze it, bag it up in a Ziploc bag, and then maybe one Sunday morning you get up and you'd like some callaloo for breakfast. You just steam it. But other than that, the one thing I learned here is that there are so many things that you can freeze and have it to use later.
Yeah.
Like, and I pass some of the hints to folks back home because now that everybody have a refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like scallion, you use scallion. And of course onions. You can slice them and freeze them. And you have them to use because sometimes they're expensive and sometimes they're very scarce. So you can put them in a Ziploc bag and have it. And you can put it in a way that you just take off instead of, the breakup. The freeze in that manner, so you just lift off and use what.
Wow. So is that what you do? I see your parsley.
Yes, the parsley, sometimes I would, if I get say a nice bunch, I would get it and cut it up and freeze it too.
Nice. Do you grow any other herbs other than that pot there?
No, because I don't use much herbs in it. Thyme, scallion, and onion.
Okay.
And what the other things, I'm a diabetic, so I'm getting accustomed to using Mrs. Dash.
Okay.
No salt.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But other than that,
Aww.
there's nothing special. Because you use rice and peas and the thyme. The thyme and scallion. Thyme, scallion, and onion pepper. Those are the four main things that we use.
Wow. So very good. Thank you so much, Miss Ethel. I have learned, you couldn't even imagine. I have learned so much, and I know whoever takes the time to listen to this particular interview, they will learn just as much and will be in just as much awe because I think it is so beautiful.
Well, you'll remember the eggplant.
Yes, gardening.
The garden.
Thank you so much for your time. And we hope to see you and to see your blooms next year.
Well, yes, if I'm around and you come in spring, you'll see a lot of new things.
Alrighty. Thanks, Miss Ethel.